Hey, what's up guys, Justinvels here, and today I'm back with another commentary video, and today I'm going to be talking about something a little bit different. It's not going to be anime, but gaming, or something a little in between, because today I'm going to be covering the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer, or should I say extended gameplay trailer, which I'm going to be sharing my thoughts and opinions on. So if you like more content like this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and without further ado, release the intro! So, if you haven't heard, yesterday was D23, and if you don't know what D23 is, let me break it down. So, every year, Disney basically has an announcement panel where they basically sit down and announce all their projects. This is ranging from Marvel, Disney animated projects, and sometimes, ever so slightly, gaming-related projects. You might be thinking, what does this have to do with Kingdom Hearts? Well, that's the funny thing. They end up showcasing the Kingdom Hearts 4 extended gameplay, as well as when the game is dropping. So, with the extended gameplay, it basically opens up with a scene from Coco. Yeah, I know. What a weird thing. Until you realize at D23, they also announced Coco too. But the reference doesn't just stop there. So in the first part of the trailer, we basically have a whole CGI cutscene with Miguel doing a performance. Now in the middle of this, it basically seems as if they're shifting from CGI to gameplay engine. I don't know if because it was recorded in 1080p or whatever potato quality it was, but whenever Sora jumped on the screen, yeah, the quality kind of dipped, and that's how I knew it went into the in-game engine. Speaking of which, it's not going to be made with its own engine, if that makes sense. Square Enix said it's going to be made in Unreal 5, and for those of you who don't know what Unreal 5 is literally the whole reason why every game kind of looks the same nowadays, as well as runs the same. They all run terribly, which I'm kind of scared for Kingdom Hearts, because the last game we got dropped in 2019, pre-COVID by the way, ended up being scrapped because of the fact that they ditched the old engine and then decided to go into Unreal Engine 4, which is kind of crazy because it was towards the end of the Unreal Engine 4 life cycle and it was kind of moving into next gen. They're doing that whole thing again, which I just find odd, but this is neither here or there. So after we see Sora fighting a bunch of partners, we kind of get a bit of a gameplay sequence to do with some of the enemies we're going to be fighting in the Coco world, and this is pretty interesting because one of them looks like a dragon and there's kind of like a chase cutscene, and I kind of thought to myself, this looks kind of familiar. And for those of you who played Kingdom Hearts 3, it kind of reminds me of the whole roller coaster sequence that we got towards the beginning or first quarter of the game. If you know, you know.
Same, but different. But still same.
But yeah, the gameplay kind of looked a bit familiar, but they quickly went past that because obviously the whole gameplay is surely not going to be on Coco, right? Wrong. So we ended up getting an extra scene to do with Sora picking up a Keyblade that looks kind of familiar to the whole world and scene aesthetic of Coco, which I thought was kind of cool because if you don't know about Kingdom Hearts already, every time Sora goes into a different world, he essentially takes on the appearance or he gets some sort of theme or look to do with the world that he enters in. I thought that was kind of cool, and they kind of gave him the whole makeup and everything, which was kind of cool. But what I didn't really like, and I think they tried to compensate with this through the Keyblade design, which I don't really know how to feel, his outfit actually didn't change, which is kind of lazy on their behalf because every single time Sora goes into a new world, he always gets a new outfit, or his outfit kind of matches the theme of the world that he's in. So I thought that was a bit odd. So moving on from there, we get like a really small scene of this guy in a hood, and he's essentially just aura farming. That's what I'm gonna say. And did he look kind of cool? I'm not gonna lie, he did look kind of clean. And if you guys don't know already, this guy is someone that we don't really know, but we know he's gonna be like the main antagonist for the next trilogy or the next arc of games in Kingdom Hearts, which is very interesting because the last arc we had was a Xehanort arc, and that lasted for 20 years and 14 games. So I don't really know how long this guy's gonna last in the series for. Chances are we're probably not gonna uncover his identity this game, or we probably might get a hint. But moving on swiftly, that scene is quickly overshadowed by introduction to Sora in Quadratum. Quadratum is such a weird place because essentially it's the closest thing that we have to Sora being in the real world. I thought that was a bit interesting. Essentially, Quadratum is Shibuya. Shibuya, roll call.
Shibuya, Shibuya, roll call. Shibuya, Shibuya, roll call.
No? Alright, cool. I'll stop. But yeah, essentially Quadratum is like Shibuya, or at least very big mix-up of multiple places in Japan, especially city areas. So whilst all of this is going on, we get maybe 2 or 3 instances of like the new characters that we're going to be seeing. We get Strelitzia, which is basically going to be the whole linchpin in this whole Sora and wherever he is, right? The lore behind it is a bit too crazy, which I just don't want to explain because Kingdom Hearts lore is a bit mad and my head's going to explode. We get introduced to another person called Volum, or whatever his name is. I'm going to keep it so real with you. There is no way this guy is not a customizable character. His design is too much of a create your own C type of thing. If not, this guy is just off-brand Sasuke. And in the big year of 2026, we have seen too many people look like Sasuke, and I don't think this guy's going to be an exception. And then we move on to this guy called Sigurd. Again, he's just another random, which he doesn't look as much as a customizable character as the other guy. Again, just another random, which I don't really care, to be honest. He was probably important in a random side game, but you know, that's just Kingdom Hearts for you. What's really interesting about this, and the reason why I do mention all these random people's names, is because my boy Riku Riku ends up pulling up towards the end. And I thought, wow, this is big brain tactics, especially from the Kingdom Hearts team. You can't have Sora go through a whole game and have a whole Riku redemption arc and then Riku does not show up, especially since in the last game Riku was trying to figure out where the hell Sora was. I don't know whether they're going to try and tackle the whole fact that Riku and Yozora kind of look the same, because that was like a whole thing, but who knows at this point. Maybe that's how they link the two, potentially. I don't know, depends on how they're feeling. And it wouldn't be typical Kingdom Hearts fashion if I didn't mention the Disney characters that were going to be important to the lore. So Donald and Goofy are kind of in the underworld, that's what it seems like, because they did bump into Hades, and it seems as if everybody all thought Sora is dead. Maybe it's because Sora rinsed out the power of waking like 50 different times in the last game. That's probably why they thought he died. Sora straight up just vanished after using the Keyblade. So that was just kind of like a whole thing. So it does make sense why they did think he died. I don't know why they thought Hades was going to help them. And I think it's really interesting because after that, we do end up seeing Mickey reading this book, trying to find out what happened to Sora, which makes me think there's two different angles that they're trying to go for here, trying to essentially figure out what is happening with Sora while Sora's trying to, you know, help everyone else, but trying to get back at the same time. And I think Mickey is probably closer to finding the key than Donald and Goofy. It seems as if they think he's dead, and Mickey might think it's something a bit closer to what happened to Aqua, where she was literally just stuck in the Heartless Realm for like 10 years or whatever they wanted to say it was. But yeah, so two different worlds going on, but I'm here for both of them. Now with all this praise, there are some issues I do want to put down, and it is mainly primarily to do with the gameplay. I'm going to be honest, a lot of it looks very repetitive. We saw the same clip of the stuff that we got teased back in what, 6 months ago, to do with that small trailer, which it was the same stuff that they showed us 3 or 4 years ago, which I've already covered previously on the channel. Also, another thing I want to mention as well, the UI has not changed from Kingdom Hearts 3. It seems like they're reusing assets, which I don't know how to feel about, because the last game came out in 2019, which I don't really have a problem with. However, I really don't think this game should have been in development hell for that long if the UI is going to be, no offense, copy and paste from the last game. That's what I'm going to say. The only thing that can save this game for me, if the open worlds are open worlding, if you know what I'm saying. And I'm talking like each map or each world is like on a GTA island type of thing. So I don't really know how to feel about it, but hopefully they kind of cook with the map and world building, because if you want me to be honest, I don't mind the Coco world. It seems pretty cool. However, if this is like Kingdom Hearts 3, where this is like one of 2 worlds that they decide to put money into, then they need to calm down. Like for example, in Kingdom Hearts 3, the biggest worlds that we had were Pirates of the Caribbean world and the Toy Story world. That was the only thing that you could probably say about those games where the map seemed huge. If Coco is one of the worlds where it's going to be like that off rip, then I'm going to have to assume that we're going to be getting some form of live action world to kind of like balance this out. And what other world is better for a live action than, I'm sorry to say this, Star Wars? I'm not really a Star Wars fan. I'm not going to sit down and glaze Star Wars or LARP it, but if we are talking about Disney IPs, Star Wars is definitely there on the table, and if we want to definitely extend it, we possibly could get a live action appearance of some of the characters there. The reason why I say live action is because some of the live actions have been doing well. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Lilo and Stitch. But yeah, that's most of my complaints. Besides one, the release date. The release date of the game is not fall 2026, is not spring 2027, not even summer 2027, but late 2027. I don't know if they know this already, but half the consoles that they showed there are probably going to be out of their generation by the time it drops. And this is the second time they've done this, where you've had an 8-year development break, which I don't know how to even say this without even sounding rude. However, the game has literally been in development hell whilst we've had damn near 3 or 4 Final Fantasies come out. And yes, I'm counting the Final Fantasy 7 remix as well, because this is ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense, and I'm gonna be honest, late 2027, I don't think half the consoles are gonna be able to run it. The same thing happened with Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts 3 released towards like late 2019, which was roughly a year or year and a half before the Xbox Series X and PS5 drop. Is this a problem? Yeah, I do think this is a big problem, because you have people who are upgrading or trying to mid-upgrade into the next system, and you have a game that's not really prepared to basically survive that console life. Now, do I think Kingdom Hearts 4 is gonna bomb or be terrible? I really hope it's not, even though the gameplay does look quite similar, which I hope they switch up a little bit. But I do think the game needs to be optimized. It's running on Unreal Engine 5. Half the games that come out on Unreal Engine 5 cannot be optimized to save their life. We have had this engine for maybe like what, 7 years now? I think 60 frames per second is not anything too crazy to ask for. Other than that, I think visually the game looks quite good. I just hope that they just expand more and show us more worlds that actually seem quite decent. If you like more content like this, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to check out my previous review on Kingdom Hearts 4 as well. And if that's not more your taste, don't forget to check out my previous videos as well, because I recently did a video on Avatar 7 Havens and another video to do with the downfall of Dandadan. If you like more content like this, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, peace.